And good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray, along with Odie, as today is Tuesday.
Pancake Day.
There are some folks already eating amongst us. And we got an angry guest.
Yeah, he's already mad.
It's like an angry bird as we come across here. We've stopped short something for you, hadn't we?
Exactly. I've missed already the first 30 minutes of the pancake breakfast. Now I'm going to miss the next hour.
But you've already been elected, so it's not like you're having to.
Well, I'm not here to get elected today. Today I'm here to eat pancakes.
Oh, okay.
I'm with you on that.
77th year of the Pancake Jubilee. Who wants to say they missed the 77th year?
I don't want to be that guy.
Scotty Ray and Odie show.
Yeah, that'd be bad. That'd be real bad. Our special guest today, of course, and I have had so many times, Ward, that when I go to spit your name out over 27 years or something like that, I've always said Chief Deputy, and I'll go, and I can't say Sheriff, and it's getting better.
Well, look, I sometimes forget people hollering. It takes 2 or 3 hollers, and I go, "What are they hollering about?" And they go, "Oh, they're calling me." You know.
Has it truthfully been an adjustment because Billy was called that? Is it hard?
Yeah, it is. Of course, we have a new name for him.
And what is it?
Citizen Solly.
Citizen Solly.
So when he comes to the office, that's what we call him. So,
how's that going over with him?
It's going well. He just looks at you, gives you that stare.
I can see that stare.
You know, we need to activate something.
What do we need to activate?
The Lima Search and Rescue Team.
What we searching for?
Sheriff's mustache.
Wait a minute. Let me put this back over here. It is missing. You had one
noticed.
Saturday.
Look, 5:20, 5:25, it was gone. I don't know how y'all do it. It drives me insane.
I don't even know it's there.
It drives me crazy.
So was it the fact of you got tired of the fake one coming off?
That's why I started. Yes, because and so my wife, and I got to give her credit. She said, "Did you ever research like professional makeup artists or where you might get some kind of special glue or something?" I said, "Well, no, dear, I didn't." I said, "I will do that, and if I can't find an answer because she doesn't like it at all, the next time I may be at the emergency room afterwards because I'll just use like super glue."
But now I've got
it won't
some
come off
stuff
then
for my clown get up that will get you took care of.
Oh, well, you and I need to
And it will not come off.
talk about that then.
And what Ward is referring to, if you had a chance Saturday to go downtown Meridian, was the history walk.
Yeah.
He was at the courthouse set up and doing a fine job. And as we walked away, I said, boy, I feel sorry for Ward because it doesn't come in big groups sometimes. Sometimes it'll be 2, and then as soon as you start, more stumble up on it.
I find myself stop as I look at them and say, "Okay, hold on just a second," and then I try to catch the folks coming up, catch them up to where we are, kind of thing. But it is, the more I do that, the more I love it. I'm always looking for trying to find new information because there are a lot of people who come back. This was our 3rd year to do that, but like the Rose Hill Cemetery, it's almost like they're getting a pin every year. They come every year, and so you want to be able to provide something, something new or different for them to see, or a little something, try to find some new information.
I haven't done the history walk, but I did many years out there at Rose Hill, and I would feel that was so much easier to do Rose Hill Cemetery than the history walk. Because you had groups come in.
Big groups, each one.
To you, and you were able to give your 5-minute spiel or so. That was the only thing. You had time constraint. You had to spit it out.
Yeah, and y'all, if you've never been to either one of these events we're talking about, do so. It is, and Ward, we were talking about this before you came in while you were fixing coffee, of the history that your family has in just a box in a corner of the house. Y'all have just been around forever.
They have, and that's the good thing. Of course, I've even looked. I decided that I would see if I could find the scoundrel. Everybody's got somebody.
Oh yeah.
Apparently, they didn't make the newspapers. I got a free 4-day got sent to me by email subscription to a newspaper website that has digitized old newspapers.
Really?
And I mean, millions of pages. And I spent several hours looking up various family names and trying to find things. And I did find a lot of articles about my grandfather when he was sheriff, just different news stories, murders, and the probably the funniest one in there was apparently back in the early 50s, there were a lot of places that people would stop along the highways and all and could gamble and this kind of thing.
They still do that.
And I think it's more regulated today because there was an instance where it was a white Welcome to Mississippi week, a hospitality week, and this couple had come through Meridian. Or Lauderdale County. It didn't say, well, it did say, but I don't remember. I didn't recognize the name of the business that it used, but they had lost like $400. Well, they stopped at some hospitality event in Laurel, and the governor was there, and they complained about how they'd been ripped off. Well, this translated into a big ordeal where they're back in Lauderdale County, and the governor's office got their money back for them.
You are kidding.
And I was going, wow.
Yes.
And it was there were some comments from different state officials about how until we had a law about this and regulated this or shut it down, we were going to still have these kind of problems. And I just thought it was interesting.
What year was your grandfather sheriff?
He was sheriff 1936 to 1940, and then 1952 to 1956. Back then, you were sheriff and tax collector, and you couldn't succeed yourself. He was actually a railroad man. He retired from the railroad.
So any chance, and let's just go ahead and ask this, any of your kids will want to move on to become sheriff to make it a...
No.
You don't think so?
Of my three children, the only one that even remotely would be my youngest son who's in the Navy. And, but I think he's going to be a career Navy guy. And, he'd be in his early 40s when he got out. That might be something. He might go into law enforcement. Whether it was here or not, I don't know. But I don't see that happening.
Thought I'd ask. I had to put that out.
Cameron was good when we were at the fair.
Yeah, except he didn't follow the rules, if you'll remember.
Well, he chased that guy down.
The guys that work at the gates were not supposed to leave those gates. Well, hey, there's a little incident.
And he went.
Well, he got the bad guy.
He did catch him over in the parking lot, and he did have him held down pretty good when we got there.
Just didn't obey orders.
Well, there was, two sides. The boss side is not happy because you didn't do what you were supposed to do. The dad side was like, good job, son. I'm glad you caught him.
I get that. Odie keeps up with everything, scorecards here.
Oh, I mean, look, we were all like, okay, good job.
7 minutes past the hour. Right now, we're looking at about 65 degrees this morning, but it's going to be 83. And let's just go ahead and warn everybody about this. Do not, whatever you do, burn today. It is, let me see if I can pull this up, Odie, and show everybody just what the National Weather Service is telling us about this. Here we go is what we're expecting. Let me hit that button. Heavy winds, the Meridian areas, you'll look at that north of I-20, all of this is going to be gusts of up to 40 to 50. Sustained winds 25 to 35, and below that toward Quitman, Jasper County, it's going to be somewhere around 30 to 40 gusts. So either way, it's bad news. Don't do it. Don't strike the match. You'll have guys and police departments running, trying to help put out fires. It just isn't a good thing.
We hope, because you've got to remember that out in the county, you're protected by the volunteer agency. And number one, it's hard to get people to come and join and help with the volunteer fire department. And we've got a program coming that we're working on that's going to show you how you can save money out of your pocket. Because if we keep going down this road with no new volunteers coming in, your homeowner's insurance is going to go up from $1,800 a year to $3,600 or more a year. So your insurance for your home could double if we don't get new volunteers in here.
What Odie's hinting at is a draft to where you're drafted into the local volunteer fire department.
One way or another. And you don't have to go into a burning building. We've had sheriff help us before.
Yeah.
But he didn't go inside. He got stuck on a pump panel one day and said, here, pull this handle and get us some water. And he did.
And I'm going to go on and tell you that was the weirdest event of my life because my brain was telling me one thing, but my eyes were seeing something different.
I got you.
Because the man had told me there were only 2 volunteer firemen there at the instance this happened. He said, when this pump gets down to this, I think it's a Christmas tree, isn't that right, Odie?
Yeah, that's it.
When it gets down here to yellow, right before it gets to red, you have to shut it off or the pump will burn up.
Ooh.
And I was just fixing it was going down. I was just fixing to turn it off, and all of a sudden it started going up. And I'm looking, going, how did that happen?
That's a good question, because I don't know.
Could it did well. The rest of the story is some of them had showed up and they'd hooked another water truck up to it, so they were putting the water back into it.
Yeah,
and I was truly perplexed as to what, because I didn't know they were doing that behind me. This all this noise going on.
Yeah, the diesel engines and
there's a couple times in my career where I've done some dumb things, and that particular day, I had done a dumb thing, and I was still a little in shock because. Well, let's say I went into this house full of smoke, and the lady she was naked, and it was a bad situation.
Got your eyes full, so to speak.
No, I couldn't see her because all the smoke, but I knew she had hair, and I got me a handful of hair, and we all came out the front door, and anyway, we got her out of the house, and then I ended up coughing and all this black stuff, and then I ended up on top of this truck and getting told to do this or that. And now it's not doing what they said it was going to do. It's going backwards. And I'm thinking, what do I do when it gets to the top? Do I turn it off then too? I mean, by then I see one walk by, and I asked him, I said, hey, come here. Because, I know this stuff's expensive. And I see the Board of Supervisors meeting where, Ward Calhoun tore up a fire engine, And I told him, he looked at me like I was an idiot. And after I found out what they had done, I felt like an idiot. But anyway.
Folks, the moral to this story is don't sleep naked. That's what I got out of this.
That's a big, or either have hair they can pull you out with.
Yeah, it's a bigger story than that. But I've told them Collinsville, it's where I live. I told them there'll be a day I'll join the fire department. Now, I won't be able to be a fire. I can't do that.
I agree with you.
I hope to be old enough that I said I'll come help you do stuff around the station. I'll drive that engine. I can do that. Did you know you don't even? And Odie, of course, knows this. I think he's the one that told me. I figured you had to have a commercial license.
I would think so too.
You do have to have training. But you don't have to have one to drive a fire apparatus. Is that not? I'm right on that. That is true. Right?
As long as it is for an emergency or training. Other than that, you can't just get in the truck and just drive it around. You would have to have a license in.
I tell them I can drive. I can come, drain the hoses out, do something like that. I can do that and be okay.
It's a lot that can be done to help out in your volunteer fire department.
It really is, and it will save you money.
We'll be right back. More on the way as we'll get into what's it like to be sheriff. We don't know. We're going to find out. We'll be right back with Sheriff Ward Calhoun. Summertime has arrived, and Freeman Tractor on Highway 494 has the exact lawnmower for your need. If you've got a big yard with acres and acres to mow, they have a mower for that. No matter the size yard you have, Freeman Tractor has the lawnmower that fits you and your budget. From 48-inch all the way up to 60, or the X-Mark lawnmower. Plenty of these to choose from. Also, they carry a complete line of LS tractors. Come by for a test drive today. Financing available. Drop in today to Freeman Tractor, Highway 494, see coleslaw or buttermilk. As the seasons change, so do your clothes, and Garrett Sports Center on 8th Street has exactly what you need. Haybo shirts, long and short sleeve, also Hulk shirts, and America's favorite brand, Carhartt. Whether you need work pants or slacks for church, and nothing lasts like a pair of Carhartt overalls. Maybe it's a set of boots that you need. From box to lacrosse, they have the boot for you. And as hunting season rolls in, they have all the camouflage you need and toboggans to boot. Garrett Sports Center, 3505 8th Street, Meridian. Have you been wanting your own building, your own shed? Speak to our friends at Best Sadia Building, 601-728-1954. Now, they can custom build you a home from a barn dominium. Maybe it's a shed that you're needing, or a simple place to park your car, a garage, a camp house. Maybe you need a place to park your tractor, your motorcycle, or even that lawnmower. They can custom design whatever it is you need. Quality work, trustworthy, Best Sadia Buildings. Speak with Drew, 601-728-1954. And welcome back. I'm your friend Scotty Ray along with Odie, and arrests have been made in Neshoba County. You go, why? Well, if you climb a pole and start taking down AT&T wire, Eric Clarke has come to visit you as we go here to show this nice blow-up picture here. Here we go. That's our folks there. All you got to do is click on that, and you can read the full story and read the arrest reports. They're there.
Not a single one of them look happy.
No, they're not, and they're really not happy after the sentencing they're going to be getting for this one.
Yeah, they were happy before they got caught, but all of a sudden,
and Odie, this wound up being a huge amount of money that was taken.
All that
because
copper?
of that, yeah.
And then they've got to buy new copper, put that copper back up. Wow.
Something went wrong. It said I need to refresh. I don't know what went on there. Huh, that's kind of odd. But the copper arrest, that's big there. As we go to our next headline here, let's go down to Clarke County. We got a new sheriff in town, and he's kind of catching on about how to arrest people. He's figured out where the handcuffs are, and you got to have a key to get them out.
That's right. That's right.
They arrested 3 juveniles yesterday morning with more threats to the Quitman School District. As we go here, here's the story that you can read about it. Anthony's been all over this, and Ward can tell us about this. We've had to deal with it in Lauderdale County when people make threats against school. It's full on. FBI, everybody's involved in this, aren't they, Ward?
Oh, absolutely. And, we figured it out. It took a little while with that. I cannot stress enough to parents, you need to make sure you're having conversations with your children about these telephones and what they do with them. Because
it's all traceable, is it not?
It is all. We are going to. Now, it may take a day, sometimes a little less, sometimes a little more. We're going to find out, and it's not going to be a good lesson. So you need to make sure that you are speaking with your young person, and that you're convincing them that sending inappropriate pictures, making any kind of threats, anything like that, don't do it, because it's going to get found out, and then there's a price to pay when you do it.
I got also an email yesterday from the Southern District out of Jackson, and you may have worked this case as well as we pull this up to where this gentleman's going to be sentenced, I think it's 3 years in federal prison for making threats over the internet as well. Do you remember this case?
I don't, not off the top of my head.
And this is it as it comes in here is the U.S. District Attorney's Office. It was a Lauderdale County man made threats of violence over the internet, and sentencing has been passed down with this. So
I do. I remember it now. Yeah, because that was, I want to say he was from here or was here,
Right.
but he actually was
Oxford.
it was North Mississippi up there. Yeah, I do remember.
But whichever it is, just don't do that because it can come back bad. You may not intentionally think that it's going to be that big, but once that send is hit, it gets kind of ugly after that.
Well, there's nothing that truly gets deleted. That's what people don't understand.
It's all there.
It's there. It's going to be there. If it's on a phone, on a computer, it's there
Forever.
and it's going to be found. So
Yeah.
don't do it. It's just that simple.
Words of wisdom. All right, let me ask this: as we were looking at some headlines there, the time before that you were here, you were running for sheriff. Now you've been elected sheriff. For years, you were number 2 guy there. You handle all the paperwork and things and got everybody going. What is the biggest difference that stands out the most from what you used to do and what you're doing now? Is it totally different than what you had in your head?
I'm a very hands-on person. And so that has been, I knew was going to be a challenge for me to let go. But I have, and let others do what they do. Every now and then I catch myself wanting to go. And I have to fight that urge. Because I'm not really letting others do what they need to do if I'm down there doing that. If I'm going in their office and taking this piece of paper. Matter of fact, yesterday there was a survey that had come in, and I had flipped through it, and I started checking a couple of the boxes, and I was like,
It's a habit.
I don't need to do this particular thing. There are other things I need to do because I'm cheating the organization and I'm cheating these employees if I'm trying to do their job, then I'm not doing my job.
That makes sense.
So I need to be, the example gets I need to be at the 50,000 foot level. I need to be looking out ahead. I need to be thinking about where we're going. I need to be thinking about what resources we need. I need to be bigger picture items. That's what I need to be taking care of.
It is so hard. I can only imagine. It has to be terribly hard you do this for 20-something years. Every day you come in, and then all of a sudden you've got other duties, and that's got to. Oof.
It is, and I almost feel like I'm not. Sometimes I feel like I'm not. I feel like I'm almost like I'm lazy. But I know better. I know that what I need to be doing is important about direction. Here's the great thing about getting up and going to work. And some people who know our organization and know some of the people in it understand this. We have some incredibly talented and dedicated people at the department in all aspects of it.
Yeah.
And so it is an honor to get to, be with them every day and get to work alongside of them and to work for our department to get better every day. I mean, that's what we're trying to do every day. The goal is to do something better, to be better than we were yesterday, and to dream about what the future looks like, and to make sure that we're working our way toward that. And so it is. I am humbled by it and incredibly thankful that the people of Lauderdale County decided to let me have an opportunity to do this.
I saw something yesterday. I was at Rock House, and I was getting ready to walk out, and I glanced over and I saw a calendar. Do y'all still have calendars available at the?
I'm thinking we may. I don't really know. We put it out there on Facebook, and a lot of people came by, and we gave a lot out. I don't know the answer to that.
But I saw that on the back door. I thought that was pretty neat there. But y'all do that
We've
every
been doing
January.
that for several years. Yeah, I've been putting those calendars out. People like them. Big wall calendar.
All right, coming up, we got more on the way. And don't forget to get your birthday, or maybe you've got an anniversary. Show them what they're going to win later.
Yeah, so here's our Hyundai of Meridian Scotty Ray Report coffee cup that you can only get by putting in for your birthday or anniversary, just like Clifford Holloway's birthday.
Clifford's having a birthday?
Clifford's kind of had a birthday, but Clifford's having a birthday.
All righty.
And Ben Lockhart's or having a birthday. So they're already in the drawing. Get your name in the drawing by sending us your name and your age if you'd like to. 29 and holding, we get a lot of those.
Yeah, we do.
We'll be right back.
Downtown Meridian is thriving with a fresh look, and now it's getting a new neighbor. Toyota of Meridian is now open under new hometown leadership. We're bringing automotive knowledge and experience home with a focus on improved customer satisfaction and all new pricing. Toyota of Meridian is excited to serve the Queen City and exceed your expectations.
I'm Trinard Rush, and I want to invite you to Toyota Meridian, where hometown pride drives excellence.
Our local headlines are brought to you by the Rock House Gun and Pawn.
Philadelphia Gun and Pawn, located at 910 Posey Avenue, has tons of lawnmowers to choose from. A big selection of zero-turn lawnmowers, power washers, and even barbecue grills. Step inside the store and see their complete line of Liberty safes along with those Browning safes. A large selection of Louis Vuitton purses along with satin shirts and bead sets. And tons to choose from for the outdoorsman in your household. And always a great deal on any type of jewelry you're looking for. And a private lobby for pawns for your confidentiality. Philadelphia Gun and Pawn. Welcome back. I'm your friend Scotty Ray along with Odie. Don't forget, we found out there's going to be a bridge closing. Let me show you this on the map here where this is. We'll alter your way of going on Lysia Road there. It's going to be closed there for bridge replacement. There's the map right there. Here's Lysia Road. Here's Lost Horse Road right in the middle there between there and that's Frederickson Road. I can't read. It was too small. I was trying to stare.
X marks the spot.
It does. There it is. So y'all keep that in mind. If you travel that way every day, it's going to be a little possibly a 3-year delay like we had down here on, what was that road?
Pine Springs?
Yeah, Pine Springs on, right at the curve before it goes to Allen Swamp. It's been a little delay there.
Yeah.
So hopefully one day that bridge will be back and rolling.
Terry making fun of the wind in my hair.
It's blowing out there, y'all.
No, it ain't. And my hair, look, it just grows however it wants to. Ain't nothing I can do about it. RW sitting over there laughing. Keep laughing, RW.
Yeah, payback.
I can't say what he says.
And also garbage delay today in the Collinsville area. Y'all don't forget about that. Some of it wasn't picked up yesterday. So it'll be picked up today, but a little bit of delay. As we've got Sheriff Calhoun in with us this morning, let me ask this. A lot of discussion. I was out there when it began at Dalewood. There was what we thought to be some skeletal remains on the side of the road. Has that been determined yet, Ward, what that is?
Well, yes, there was. There were. They are human. We know that, and we have submitted that to the crime lab. They're running some DNA analysis, and we are waiting to hear back.
So there's
really no update there yet
as to who it might be, and that's right. What we're waiting on.
Right.
And that does. The crime lab has a lot going on, and it's been there a little while too, hadn't it?
See, we're probably about 5 weeks since that occurred, maybe.
And the
like that.
remains, there was nothing fresh. It looked as they'd been outside.
Yes.
So it will.
We contacted actually 2 of our investigators had been last August to, I think it was August, September, to a class where they worked on this type of thing about how to handle a crime scene like that, digging up, and they actually use pigs that they bury
Really?
At various stages of decomposition, and about how to photograph and how to work a scene like that. So they had made some contacts, and we were able to contact a professor at MSU that does some of this type of work, and he came down to examine that and gave us some information. And so we're basically right now in a holding pattern, waiting on the DNA analysis.
So y'all are not really hiding information, and
No, there's just there's nothing to update people about at this point in time. We'll certainly do that when it's appropriate, but right now we don't have anything to update anybody about.
And let me say this:
about.
I was joking with Ward there, but with all seriousness, when something happened, Ward is going to call me within 20 to 30 minutes in that time frame to let us know what's going on. Ward does not withhold information as other people sometimes do. You want the public to know what your office is doing and where it is. You had, I remember not long ago, we had the press conference at your office. You were on this the other day when we had the truck stolen with the box cutter. Y'all were on this, letting the public know exactly what's going on. We do appreciate that.
Well, look, we realize that there's a vast amount of information out there, and we will never have enough eyes and ears with badges on, to do everything. We depend upon our citizens to help us, and the only way they can do that is by letting them know what we can let them know. Now, there are times when there's information that we don't let out. If we think it's going to compromise an investigation some way, or something that we believe is best not to say something about, then we're just not going to. And you just have to trust us to use our judgment about that. That we're not doing it because it's not something we want you to know. We're doing it because there's a reason for not doing that. And so we want the public's help. We ask, we beg for help, and people do. Just this past, so it's Sunday night, in capturing. Oh my goodness! How can I forget?
Out in the Wyandotte area.
Well, they were just over in Alabama. Michael Todd Riley. And he knew this going back and forth. I think he knows this. That it's a jurisdictional issue to some degree, but we're all working together. And there were folks down there from Mississippi Department of Corrections, Sheriff Moore, Kemper County, had Sheriff Lawley, Choctaw County. I was not there. Several of our people were down there. They were on the edge of Alabama, and I will tell you that I went back yesterday to one of the guys that flies our drone that Odie helped us to get, and I told him we were trading that thing in on some beagles.
Them beagles work, don't they?
Because till they can come up with a drone that's got a nose like a beagle, that beagle did a whole lot better than that drone ever did. And
let me ask this: in that situation, when you've got somebody that I think in the past, if I'm right on this, may have made saying they're not going back to jail. We saw in Jackson, Mississippi, a year or so ago, somebody that it wasn't a big serious crime. They broke out of jail, but they didn't want to go back. When somebody breaks out of jail, how should the citizens take it when they're on the run? Do you expect the worst? Is that the best way to word that?
Yes. I mean, you just know this person's obviously pretty desperate. Now, look, a lot of times these folks, if it's just been an hour or two, they got a lot of energy left. Give them a day or so and on the run, and it's raining or it's cold or super hot. Usually most folks are ready to kind of give up. Matter of fact, they'll say things like, I'm glad y'all finally called me, because they're trying to get away, but, they're also
they know
kind of tired. They know it's over, and they know that we're not going to stop looking. It's just going to take some time.
3 hots and a cot was looking a little better at the time.
You know, the best answer is that don't do something to get yourself put in jail to begin with, and you won't have that be a problem.
There you go.
But when you hear that somebody's broken out of jail, make sure your cars are locked. You don't have anything that would be lying around to aid them.
Exactly, and just be the eyes and ears. And this goes on all the time. We you know, I've spent a career talking about you're your first line of defense. Calling us is really a second line. So how does that work? Well, you've got to be observant about what's going on around you. You've got to be paying attention. You know, these days, I'm a people watcher. You see people with these things right here, and they are oblivious. They're walking across the parking lot of your local store, nearly getting run over.
It was so bad I snuck up on Odie, and he didn't even know I was there. I was hiding behind a dumpster, and there was Odie, and I blew the horn at him, scared him.
Hide behind a dumpster?
I said, "What are you doing?" He said, "Waiting on crime."
Wait.
He's everywhere. He's everywhere.
We're going to need to start tracking Odie, see what he's doing behind dumpsters. That's kind of got me wondering.
I know, yeah.
It was funny. One of those things. We got any more birthdays that have trickled in?
we do, and I want to touch them. But Kelby had asked, how many open slots do you have down at the sheriff's office that you're trying to fill?
We currently have 4 on the law enforcement side and 9 in our jail. So we are
both equally important on both sides of the law.
Absolutely. Look, our detention officer, that's old school. Got to start thinking. I've been working on that. These are the unsung heroes in the criminal justice system. Is these folks that work inside jails and prisons, and in our Lauderdale County detention facility, there are some dedicated, hard-working people that no one sees.
Yep,
unless you become a guest of the hotel down there, you don't know them. For the most part, you just wouldn't know that. But they're down there every day, and they've got to get things right every single time. Down there, we have a process, a way of doing everything, and there's a reason for it. Anytime we have failure in some, like an escape, for example, you look back at it, and usually it's multiple layers where if somebody had done something just a slightly different, we would not have had that happen. But they deal with, and look, most of these inmates, not all of them, vast majority of them, they're there, they know they're there, they do what they're supposed to, and we move on. You do have that small percentage who every day are looking to make somebody's life miserable. And they do that in a variety of ways.
Oh, I bet they do.
Mm-hmm. And so these folks work hard, and they do their very best. And we're looking for folks that want to join the team. And we've been recruiting, and we're much better shape than we were a year ago. So we're excited about that, but we're still not where we want to be. And there's some great benefits to working at the county in terms of, I think pay is pretty doggone good. It's not obviously it's never going to be the best, but it's good. And the benefits are great. I mean, health insurance, there are 11 paid holidays, getting into the PERS retirement system. By the way, I would encourage people to do that quickly because I got a feeling the legislature, maybe not this year, but by next year, there are going to be some major changes. I don't think they will change it for those that are in the system, but I do think they will change it for those that were starting. So,
hurry up. Get signed up today.
Odie and I are glad things are where they are. That's right. If they come up with some kind of cutoff of some kind, I hope it's like, anybody been in more than 20 years,
we
something.
In here.
Because, that's been the thing for most people that are in state retirement is, they look back over a life that they, spent their work life, and they go, I knew I wasn't getting paid as much, but the one thing I had, the hope I had was we have a great retirement system. But on the other side of that equation, because we have a great retirement system, it's in trouble today. And they're going to have to make some changes or it's not going to be sustainable long term. And I do want it to be sustainable because I want to get a check.
You want to go home and be able to do what you do.
That's right.
I want part of mine. Maybe we're part of that group that will still get that 13th check.
Yes, sir, Bob.
Well, talking about employment with you down there, one thing that I believe helped was that commercial. We'll talk about that commercial because we've got a commercial.
Yeah, we'll be right back.
Fantasy Cottage Floral and Gifts is located in downtown Quitman, directly across the street from the post office. They are your one-stop shop for all of your floral and gift-giving needs. They have everything you need to make those you care about feel special, from a fully stocked gift shop to roses, mixed flower arrangements, and plants. Whether it be a special occasion or just because, remember them in your time of need for all of your funeral floral arrangements. Call on Fantasy Cottage Floral and Gifts at 601-776-3010.
J&J Tire and Muffler, located at 3420 8th Street, invites you by. And if you need a front-end alignment, make sure to try their new state-of-the-art alignment machine. No matter the size of your truck and car, J&J can align it. J&J also has touch-free mounting, laser wheel balancing, and as always, they provide preventive maintenance, including CV axles, shocks, struts, brakes, with the largest selection of new and used tires, along with exhaust systems. Locally owned and operated since 1978 in Meridian. Patrick Allen Companies has a wide selection of garage doors that will fit your style, add value to your home, and add curb appeal to your neighborhood. Patrick Allen also has top-of-the-line, energy-efficient replacement windows that will make your home look great while saving you money. We're family-owned and operated, and we take pride in our work. 5305 Highway 145 South in Meridian.
For all your garage doors and replacement windows,
call Patrick Allen Companies. Safety, service, satisfaction.
Welcome back. I'm your friend Scotty Ray, along with Odie, and our special guest this morning, of course, is our sheriff, Ward Calhoun, and we're going to put him to the twist. 1827.
The twist?
Yeah, the test. I couldn't get it out. 1827. There was a bunch of folks who got drunk in New Orleans. That's the way I see it.
And
it would be the beginning of what?
Mardi Gras.
That's it. As we go back in time, look at this. That's what happened there. It all kind of began in 1827 there. Now, if I am not mistaken, and y'all correct me, isn't Biloxi the kind of the place where it really started the Mardi Gras parade? Mobile?
I don't remember.
Mobile.
That's what I've been told that before, but I wasn't 100% sure on that.
They just took it and ran.
I wonder what made February 27th, 1827 different than any other day down in New Orleans, because that place is kind of always like that.
That's true.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have the answer to that. Did anybody in the room ever watch My Three Sons? Did y'all watch
absolutely.
It? He always just seemed mad.
Well, he had to cook all the time.
Uncle Charlie, as we go back, it's his birthday today. And I didn't even know his name, but that was him. But he always had that scowling look like he was going to whoop you.
Well, I mean, when you was born in 1892.
That was a very, very big show back in its day. And it seems like he played some other parts, but mostly remembered for doing My Three Sons. Let's see what else on this. Jane Woodward. Do y'all remember her? An actress? Her birthday's today also. She was, of course, married to, what's his face there? That's Steve McQueen, right? You know who that is?
Is that Steve McQueen?
No, that's not Steve McQueen.
That's what's his face?
Ryan O'Neal? No, wait a minute.
Starts with a G.
He was in the, what was it? Cool Hand Luke.
Paul
Newman.
Paul Newman.
Boy, couldn't get that out.
Yeah.
Now everybody else is telling us. Yeah.
Y'all are smarter than we are on this. This was probably one of the most beautiful women that ever existed. And she got married a lot of times to prove it. She even was, I think it was 1957, made it to the great state of Mississippi to do some filming. And if you go back and watch the movie Raintree County, you'll see the steps of Windsor before they were moved to the university. Do y'all know the mansion that I'm talking about, the ruins of Windsor? Who am I talking about? Liz Taylor. She was in town for that.
Wow.
That was an interesting movie. It was supposed to be this tree that had money on it, and they were in search of it. By golly, she finds it at the end of the movie when nobody else knew.
Lauderdale County Board of Supervisors has been searching for that tree for years.
I have too.
The Good Ship Lollipop.
Golly.
What name comes to mind?
Yeah. Shirley Temple's the only thing that pops in your mind.
There you go. It's her birthday today.
Wow.
$50,000 a film. Can you imagine that?
7 years old.
Shirley Temple was big time. Now,
Yes, she was.
out of everything that's ever been on television, if you've ever been in the media, this show was really hit because it described what went on behind the scenes for the best part during the 70s and 80s. A little bit of the 90s, and then everything kind of changed there.
Yeah, you'll hurt somebody's feelings now.
It would be, because there's always the salesman that was dressed really, really bad. Horrible. Kind of like what they used to say, the used car salesman look. Then you always had the hot receptionist, as we go back to remember Howard. who never played anything that was on the top 40.
No.
Johnny Fever is who we're talking about, was born on this day.
WKRP.
Is that you, Scotty Ray, back when you had hair? Oh, no. Okay.
But let me tell you, everything that's in that picture, I've used. From decks to carts, and none of that exists anymore whatsoever. That was back in the day. You had to put the record on there, and you hit a button, and you wound the record backwards to find where the talking was on the song. You had to adjust it before you hit play. And let me just tell you about the gospel greats when you had to rewind all that tape in there in between commercials. It was bad. It was bad.
Wow.
But Johnny Fever.
That was when you had to actually work.
That's right. Did y'all ever watch Bob Newhart? Did you ever watch that?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
He was, and he had several versions of that show. The second go around of this is the wife that was on that show. Do y'all remember her, Mary Fran? Let me move this down. We can see a better look at her, everybody. Where is that? That is just not wanting to move. I don't know why.
That is not who I remember
There
being
it
the
is.
wife.
There, you can see a little bit better there. That was when he
don't know
owned
if I know
the end and had Daryl, and his other
Oh
brother. Darryl.
yeah, okay, all right. See that I remember.
Those characters just stuck out. If y'all remember, they were funny. They were kind of like the Darlings. Never said anything. Just kind of showed up. Let's see here. This next guy, Murphy Brown. You saw just a little bit of that. Murphy Brown. Do y'all remember this TV show?
Never watched that one.
Well, she was very liberal, and she was tough and mean, and so I didn't identify with it either.
Yeah.
I didn't watch that show, but it was big. 1962. Maybe you needed a good luck charm. RCA Records would give this to you today, as we remember Elvis Presley released that.
We need to keep a count on how many times we mention his name every year, because he's always doing something or did something.
Oh yeah, Elvis was there.
You know, he the man.
Sammy Smith had a number one today. As you go back and remember, Help Me Make It Through the Night. Still at number one on this date. Back in the day of 71 is when that happened. Now, of all the country songs that are out there, you ever have one of those that just made you feel good about yourself, God, and everything? You wake up and you say a little prayer every day. Most of us do.
Yep.
Say, Lord, help me out there. Well, Don Williams wrote a song about it, and it shot to number one on this day. He remembers, Lord, I hope this day is good. I'm feeling empty. Love that song. Don Williams, a gentle giant. 1989, this old boy would stumble upon the punk rock scene. Oh, yeah. He would run into a guy named Nudie, and he would design the look that you would become to know in country music. He would come out with a Johnny Horton song first and skyrocket to number one. And then along came this some few years later called I Sang Dixie as he died. Dwight Yoakam. We just called him Tight Pants Yoakam. That's why
He's got the most unique voice.
Because those pants were so tight. Cutting off circulation. The boy couldn't sing. But you're right. It is unique. You know it's Dwight when you hear it. Now, 1980, and we were discussing this the other day. Why this was not put up as a tourist attraction. It would probably bring in thousands of dollars for people to go spend the night on it.
Just like a hotel.
Yeah.
Spend the night and have a dinner.
You know, kind of like they had the USS Alabama parked. You could have parked that somewhere and people would have paid to spend the night on the Love Boat.
Yep.
If you were anybody as far as an actor, you stumbled across that show at some point.
You were a special guest on there.
Yep. Julie and Isaac and the whole 9 yards.
Yeah. I don't know if it's still going on now, but used to, when the Navy decommissioned the ship, there was one company that got first dibs if they wanted it or not. Could you take a wild gander on who that may be?
The Mafia?
Gillette.
Why is that?
Turned into razor blades.
Did not know that. You two need to quit this. Really?
Yeah, they had first dibs if they wanted it. If they wanted to buy it.
Now, I don't know if that's true or not. Odie's saying it. I'm going to go with him. I've heard that. I don't know if it's true.
I have never in my life heard that, but that's interesting there. Let's see here. I feel good. Does that mean anything to y'all?
That he's out of jail?
He was paroled today. Back in 1991, James was set free. The Godfather got loose.
Oh, I feel good.
He had several stints of running from the law.
Yeah.
They found some marijuana, Mary Jane, up in his truck. He ran 3 or 4 city blocks before they caught him one time. He just couldn't help it there.
He ran?
He did. He wouldn't stop. He decided to go on a little roundabout, a
Never seen
walkabout.
nobody get high and run. Unless it was to a snack bar.
Let me ask this, Ward. Have you ever considered, after getting out of law enforcement, of maybe getting into the protection side of things, being a bodyguard?
No.
No, never. Does the name Farmer mean anybody in the room? Farmer. Does that ring a bell?
I wouldn't have remembered it through the farmer part.
You wouldn't. That wouldn't hit. Well, the guy that played in The Bodyguard would be Kevin Costner.
Oh,
it
yeah,
was
okay.
today that this song went number one in '93. Can y'all believe it's been that long?
Wow.
That's one of those movies, when I stumble across it, I've got to stop and watch it. It's just that good. He was quite the actor on that there, Whitney Houston. Now, we lost a legend today. As a kid, kids watch this guy every day, and I can only remember, if Eddie Murphy makes fun of you, you've made it. Hello, boys and girls.
Well, he changed
Welcome to
it
the
to
hood. Eddie Murphy was making fun of this guy here as we lost Fred Rogers, Mr. Rogers, on this day.
And I tell you, that was something that the kids were raised with, some type of morals being taught.
Now, is it true that this guy was tattooed all up and was like a serious
I don't think he was
military?
tattooed. I think he was scarred.
Is that what it was?
And I think he had a couple of tattoos, but it wasn't like he had sleeves or anything.
And I'm not sure if I've read that thing that said that he was
We call him a BA.
Yeah. Is there truth to that,
Special
him being
Forces.
I don't know on that one.
We'll have to do
Did a
this.
little research on
But
it.
I've heard the same thing, that he was Special Forces, maybe Navy SEALs, and just a
back then he
tough
would have
guy.
been a UDT guy.
Debbie said he was creepy to her when she was a kid.
Well, you
Mr.
mean-
Rogers.
What's his name that paints?
The frizzy
his
hair?
dad- Yeah.
Bob
Yeah, paint
something.
with Bob. You know, he's always talking real soft.
Yeah, he was low.
All right, so when he was in the Army, he became a drill sergeant, and that was part of his duties. And all he had to do was yell at people, and people yelled at him. And he said, when I get out, I'll never raise my voice.
Well, he didn't.
He put happy trees over here.
And those paintings are worth thousands now.
Bob
People
Ross.
watched it and they
Bob
painted. That was never my thing. I just, yeah.
I watched him, but I couldn't have painted it.
Why'd you watch him, Bodie?
Because it was cool to see him, what he would make out of nothing. I was just, really?
You know why I watched
How
him?
do you do that?
I would be sick, and it was the only channel that wasn't a soap opera that you could flip to, because we had 3 channels back then. Bob Ross.
And you were the remote, and you
Yeah.
didn't feel good enough to go to church.
to get up. I have never watched an episode of this. I know there's a certain group of people that go around to these conventions, and I have never in my life watched it whatsoever.
He was a sniper, and it was to hide the tattoos.
Now, I've heard that, but I'm not sure I can prove it. If you're into this guy Spock had a birthday today, and again, y'all do that hand thing.
I can do it.
Oh, look at this.
I can do it.
No, he's not Nanu, is he?
I cannot.
But he
look at
did
this.
do that.
I cannot.
You can't do that?
That's every bit of strength I have in my hand. I cannot do it.
Both hands. Me and Odie do the Star Trek gang thing.
That's
you
it.
know.
We were on the Star Trek. So.
Yeah.
Y'all are worrying me.
We're on the holodeck right now. You think you're radios.
Yeah.
I mean, with all my mind control, I cannot separate those fingers. I'm doing everything I can. Y'all try it at home. See if y'all can.
As soon as the show's over, we're going to be beamed to the pancake dinner.
That's right.
That's the way to go. That's a look back at history today of a few things that went on. We'll be right back. More questions with Ward coming up. Have we got another birthday?
Well, we kind of do. So I've got a happy birthday to Dakota. So if your name is Dakota and you're having a birthday, happy birthday. We got a Wade and a Haley. Don't know a last name, but we got a Wade and a Haley's got an anniversary today. So happy anniversary. Now, happy birthday does go out to James Lovett Jr.
Okay.
So happy birthday and happy anniversary. We'll be
The selection is always changing at Massey Supermart Auto Sales with low mileage cars and trucks. How about a 2022 Jeep Wrangler, Ridgeline Sport with only 40,000 miles, a GMC Denali, or a 2024 Silverado 2500. Drop in today and find the car that you're looking for. They're packed with low mileage cars and trucks.
The low profit dealer, Massey Supermart.
For something as vital as your eyes, you should have your lenses and contacts made with the utmost care and precision. And that's what Grayson Optical does on 24th Avenue. Since 1996, Grayson Optical's mission has been to provide Meridian and surrounding areas with quality eye care products. That's why we're locally owned and operated. And don't forget, custom-made sunglasses like Costa for your eyes only. When you need to see clearly, Grayson Optical. 2021 24th Avenue, Meridian. 601-693-6374.
Meridian's favorite barbecue is Squealer's Barbecue, named the barbecue capital for the state of Mississippi. Whether it's barbecue, wings, or burgers, Squealer's simply has the best for a family environment. Every Thursday night, there's live music out on the porch. Takeout orders are welcome, and whether it's your next tailgate or large catering event, your friends at Squealer's are there to help. Drop in for lunch today or a night out on the town. Squealer's Barbecue, the best in fine barbecue.
Yep, we had a one letter off on that last name there, Mr. whoever he was, Mr. Nimoy.
Yeah, Nimoy.
Yeah.
But we did get Wade and Haley Jarman. So thank you for sending in that last name. And Dakota Sudbury.
Some 20 years ago, Angie called me to tell me that there was a bat in our house. And they were chasing it with a broom, trying to get it out the door, opening the door, running around the room. And I had this sent to me last night of somebody that had a bat in the house. And I guess this is the proper way to get rid of a bat. You got to get some big, thick rubber glove. Did you see this, Odie?
Yeah.
Here we go. Let me hit play on this. Yeah, he's big. He's that's a close-up look of what a bat looks like if you've never seen one. Now, was that not interesting or what?
That is pretty interesting.
Now, those of you at home heard the squeal that he was making. We didn't hear it in the studio, but he kind of loud there.
Now, if you have bird or if you've got mosquito problems and night bugs and stuff like that around your house, if you go put up a little bat box, it's a small birdhouse, but it's made for a bat. If you put up a small bat box in a tree and get you a couple of bats there, they'll take care of all your little night flying critters.
Well, there you go. So now we know.
The good Lord, when he put bats together, but it is, Odie's absolutely right, because I actually looked at, I never did it, but I was going to get a bat house because it is amazing how many mosquitoes, those things, I mean, we're talking hundreds and hundreds a night.
Wow.
And, I mean, they're blind, basically. I'm no bat expert, but basically almost like radars, how they fly and don't run into things and how they find insects to eat. It's pretty. I did have something happen Saturday I've never had happen in all my years. I'm out at my car putting something up, and you know how you feel like you saw something close by? And I thought, what was that? And it was early in the morning. Well, it wasn't that early. It's probably about 8 o'clock. And I went around the front of my vehicle, and just about 10 feet in front of the vehicle, it was parked on the grass, there was a hawk. And I thought, why is that hawk there? And I see like he's doing something in the ground. I thought, what is that? Is he looking at a worm? And then up in his beak, and then he puts it in his claws. He has I thought it was maybe a mouse at first, but the more I looked, it was a mole. And he had that mole. And I'm very thankful because it was on the edge of my yard, and I have had a mole. And I hope there's probably more than one there, but that one's not there anymore because he ate him for breakfast.
So I didn't even realize hawks would do that. But yeah, my dog was chasing one last week. Well, she likes to show off when she catches one finally. She wants that pet on the head there.
Bring it up to you, leave it on the step.
I'm like, no, you can keep it. It's all yours. Ward, you're in now. What do we expect over the next year as we look at what you've got planned? What's coming up? Any big news of changes or things that you feel is going to make the county a little bit better that you're working on behind the scenes?
Some of the things we're working on, and said it during the campaign, is making sure that we hire and train and retain the very best people that we can. And these days, that takes effort. The days of just saying, hey, we got a job, come, and then, we're just going to replace you if you leave, those days have really long been gone. In law enforcement, there are everything is under the microscope all the time.
I can only imagine.
Making sure that we take an incident from the time the incident happens to making sure it's documented properly, that the reports are done, that everything is done throughout the system to get to a successful prosecution in a courtroom. You have to look at every case as if you're going to do that. Now, not all of them do that. Many of them, plea deals, but those plea deals don't happen if you don't have good cases. Because defense attorneys look at it and go, oh, no, we want a trial because y'all really screwed this up and my client's walking out the door. So doing that, and so we've done a couple different things to try to position ourselves to do that. One, Odie mentioned a minute ago, the recruitment video. That's created some good bit of interest. We have more coming out. We want people to get a chance to see what it is we do every day. Now, look, some of that's the really cool stuff. A lot of it's that we do day and day. Yeah, it's doing a J-turn. That doesn't happen often, but hey, it's pretty fun when you get to do it. But, there's a lot of other things. But I think most people, people want to have a purpose in their life. They want to do something with their life that matters. And they can do that in working in law enforcement. And it is more difficult today to find people than ever before, but we're finding them. I have hope. The last few folks that we've hired that weren't already certified officers, great applicants. And so I won't say I'm almost hate to say it, but I think the pendulum's starting to swing. We're seeing more applications.
That's great.
We are much better positioned than most departments, people I talk to, in terms of our staffing of our personnel.
So expand on that. What does the hiring process look like?
Yeah, of course, we're always taking applications. I tell everybody, should I apply now? Absolutely. They can go to our website. The video's got information at the end of it. They can come in, they can call, they can email. We'll get them an application, and they can do it online, or they can do it on paper and submit it. For someone that's not certified, we then set up a date for a PT test. And look, folks, this day and time, not everything's solved with a computer. Okay, you still got to chase bad guys. Still Adam 12 some days. You know what I mean? You got to get out the car, Malloy, and get after it. So
that happens more times than people really realize.
Exactly. Do a PT test, and we tell them when we talk with them, give them the information about what that is, which is push-ups, a 1.5 mile run, an agility run. We have an interview process. Once they go through that, we have a board that sits that recommends that individual. And if they pass that part of it, then they go to the second phase of it, which is a polygraph, a psych eval, and a drug screen. And if a person successfully completes all of those, we then give them a hire date. And then the fun's just beginning at that point because then they end up going to the academy, which is 11 weeks now. It's fairly intense, but anybody who puts their mind to it can certainly do it. It's a basic academy for a reason. It's the basics. You're not going to come out solving
nothing like OJT.
Yeah, exactly. You're never going to do away with that, and that is really the next phase. Our field training officers take these individuals, and it takes anywhere from 10 to 14, 15 weeks. Because while it might be like checking the boxes off about making sure the things that they know, the truth of the matter, none of us ever quit learning. I find out stuff I don't know. Everybody's that way. But you get a good handle on the basics, and they're assigned to a shift then, and start answering calls. And they're working with others during that process, that field training officer process. So it takes a little while. So it's a great investment that we have to take and put into these individuals to get them to the point where they can start, answering calls kind of by themselves with somebody, usually a corporal or sergeant, kind of shadowing them. And the great thing about law enforcement is it is different every single day. Now, sometimes we're dealing with the same people. A lot of times we're dealing with the same people, but everything every day is a little bit different. And it's so rewarding to get to help people too. It's not just arresting people. We do lots of other things, but it is, I love it. I mean, I just don't get tired of it.
Y'all brought up, since you brought this up, I'm going to bring this up about training. It's been a while because, I got sick and I'm starting to walk again. So yesterday I break out and I turn right down here at the stop sign. And off in the distance, it was a good quarter mile. I see a lady walking. So I'm coming along. Before long, she passes me. She smoked me pushing a baby in a baby carriage. She caught up with me. I am that slow.
You were her marked.
Yeah. She was like, I'm going to catch up with him.
It was like, and then she beat me to the stop sign and passed me again. It was horrible.
I know we're fixing to run out of time. Another great thing that we just got, we got some money given to the department to get some virtual reality training equipment. that I think is going to be just super. Now, look, we need to train with our weapons, for example, and our driving. Those are all things we do. But the truth of the matter is, dealing with people and talking is the thing we do absolutely every single day with everyone we interact with. And this virtual reality training, we're going to be able to utilize it in our detention facility for that staff and their training on the streets. It's a scenario-based training that is done with you put the goggles on and the ear. Now look, I've never really done any of that. I know a lot of the younger people have. But what I've seen of it, not doing the research and figuring it out, this is going to be some state-of-the-art, brand new training that we're going to have, that we're going to be able to share with other departments around us, and as we get it stood up. And we think it's going to be a great way to utilize training time, because with scenario-based training, it's like what you're really doing. It's close as the real thing as you can kind of get. So
I like that.
So we're excited about that.
We'll be right back. We're going to give away a coffee mug in just a second as we're getting ready for pancake time. We'll be right back.
Health Now is your locally owned medical equipment store. Every person's need is a little different, and they offer a little bit of everything from hospital beds, wheelchairs, reclining back wheelchairs, breathing treatments, CPAPs and supplies. They even have walkers, bath products, and oxygen. And the great thing about Health Now is they offer same-day service. They're open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. and on call 24/7. Health Now Medical Equipment, where we treat our patients like family.
If every time the wind blows you get a little leery about a tree over your house, talk to my friends at Reed Tree Service. There's no reason to be worried about a tree crashing through your house. Mike Reed has years of experience dealing with trees. It can be as simple as having a limb removed or a tree that is just huge too close to your shop or house. It's not going to cost you anything to have Mike come out and give you an estimate. They're licensed and insured, taking care of East Mississippi and West Alabama. Reed Tree Service. Have tree, will travel. And welcome back. As somebody said, remember,
and we're
don't
back.
burn today.
Please do not.
I have to agree with that comment 100%. That can happen there.
Yeah.
It has been a treat having Ward. Let's give away the coffee mug.
It has been a treat, and we've enjoyed every single bit of it. And we do have this here coffee mug to give away from Hyundai of Meridian, the Scotty Ray Report. I got it all covered up. But that's a beautiful mug that you can get with Hyundai of Meridian at Hyundai of Meridian on Highway 39. Big silver building. You can't miss it. And to give that away, let's hit the dun 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 dun. Ben Lockhart is the winner chicken dinner of the Hyundai of Meridian coffee cup. So Ben, go by Hyundai of Meridian and say, I won.
That's great.
And they'll get you took care of.
Ward, we cannot thank you enough for you coming in today and spending some time. It's been a lot of fun. Your first time to be here as sheriff, and we learned a lot.
Yeah.
We had a great morning. Enjoyed it. The only downside was, of course, all right, I'm going to be positive. I am more hungry now than I was when I got here.
What Ward really means is we have interrupted his breakfast.
Yeah, for some reason. But that's all right, because we're fixing to...
They need to go ahead and warm up a second or third griddle and get it ready, because I'm on the way.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ward, for dropping in. Odie, I know you're going to tell us what a great day this is going to be as we start to head our different ways.
It is, and a couple people have reached out and they said, hey, I think what you did yesterday was great. We run into a lady yesterday and she said, the scripture may be the best because that may be the only time someone hears the word of God. So today's scripture comes from Jude chapter 1, verses 20-21. But you, dear friends, by building yourselves up in your most holy faith and praying in the Holy Spirit, keep yourselves in God's love as you wait for the mercy of our Lord Jesus Christ to bring you eternal life. There's only one way to eternal life, and that is through our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Make that change today. Invite him into your heart, and he will forgive you of all your sins as he does me daily. Until then, we'll see you in about 23 hours. We love you. Have a wonderful day.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners.